Welcome to the Senior Focus. I'm your host, Nick Kaltzis, and I'm here with Kristine, Binnette, and Jane Fitzpatrick. I always say Binnette instead of Binnette. I think you say Binnette, right?
Either one is fine with me.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm well. You're on here rather frequently, and this is Jane's first time.
It is.
Hello, Jane. How are you?
Good.
Let me ask you a little bit about yourself. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do at Millbury Healthcare Center?
Well, I'm a dietitian. I'm a registered dietitian. I've been a dietitian for 43 years. I started in Boston as a dietitian at Beth Israel, and I worked at Mass General. And in the last 20 years, I've been in long-term care. So at Millbury, when residents come in, I talk to them. I see, I find out what their diets are, their, diagnoses, what they like to eat, and assess whether or not they need extra protein and calories and things. And then we work if their diet needs to be liberalized, or they need supplements or vitamins and minerals, or they're on a tube feeding. We adjust to what their needs are and what their likes are, and we find out whether they want to eat in the dining room or in their room, and what help they need. And we have a speech therapist who determines if what they're eating is safe. So the therapeutic diet is whether they need a diabetic diet or a low-fat, low-cholesterol, or no-added salt diet. And if they have any problems chewing and swallowing, then we make sure that the texture is right for them. And so we want to make sure that all their nutritional needs are met.
So that was my job. Nutritional needs, from what you're saying, the texture of the food, making sure that whatever their desires are met.
Absolutely, and that they get enough protein. Supposedly, if they had surgery or
that's
something.
a question I'm going to stop you there and ask you.
Okay.
What is an appropriate amount of protein that a person should have?
Well, that depends on what their problems are. If they have any skin issues, or they've had any surgery, or they've had any broken bones, or they've had any burns, or they have cancer and all their nutritional stores have been depleted, they will need more nutrition. If they're on a tube feeding, or they're getting parenteral nutrition, they don't even have an esophagus or a stomach, then that all has to be determined. I have to figure out their calorie needs, their protein needs, their fat needs, their fluid needs, and electrolytes like potassium and sodium, and everything has to be, assessed. And then I make recommendations as to what the doctor should order for them, or what supplements, what tube feedings, what the pharmacist should do to make up a parenteral solution.
So my wife and I are going back and forth over this particular issue. She says that you probably need about at least 100 grams of protein a day.
Okay,
I think, I don't know, 100 grams, that sounds like a lot.
That actually sounds like a lot. If you just had fractures, skin issues, and you were burned,
right, maybe,
okay, because for a normal person, they need 1 gram of protein per kilogram a day, which is about 2 pounds.
All right,
so say
because that's what I was going to ask you, the difference between a kilogram and a pound.
It's 2.2 pounds.
Okay.
So, if you didn't have any of those extra problems and the extra protein need, then you would go by 1 gram of protein per kilogram. So say a person who is 100 pounds would need 45 grams of protein.
We'll say 50. They can need 50.
Right, 50.
Okay.
But we try to figure on 60 to 70 grams of protein per person today. And if they need more than that, because they're bigger, it goes by size, goes by how big you are, how tall you are, and whether you're a man or a woman. And
I asked, have you become a bodybuilder? Because I guess a bodybuilder will have more of a protein requirement than an ordinary person, right?
Well,
up
to a point, because after your body can only use so much protein for anabolism a day, and after your body uses as much protein as it can handle, for anabolism and metabolism, then it's just wasted. It's just used for energy, like a cheap carbohydrate, which is, so 1 gram of protein is 4 calories, and 1 gram of carbohydrate is 4 calories. So after all your protein needs for anabolism are used, then it's just broken down for cheap energy. And let me say this: my stepson was a bodybuilder. He won this contest. I couldn't even believe how.
Well, congratulations to your son.
The trophies like this. But the thing is, he was just eating chicken breasts and doing his special milkshakes from the General Nutrition Center and drinking water. And he was getting so much protein that his liver almost shut down, his liver and his kidneys. There's such a thing as too much protein. Your body can't handle it. He was fainting. Now this big, handsome guy with all these muscles on muscles was fainting because he didn't have enough carbohydrate, and he was just trying to build as much muscle as he could before this contest. And his doctor said, "You're going to die. You got to start eating normally and healthy. You got to have, protein balanced with carbohydrates and fats, and balance is always the word, But he said to his doctor, he says, "It's only in a couple weeks." He says, "Just let me do this contest, and I promise I won't do this ever again." So he won the contest, and he's never gone on that stupid diet again. He won that contest just in time because it was way too much protein for him.
So nutritionally balanced
Balance
meal,
is
very important.
And this is also important for diabetics. They're always worried about, carbohydrates and sugar. But the American Diabetes Association said that the ideal diet for a diabetic, half of all the calories is from carbohydrates and simple sugars, 25% is from protein, and 25% is from healthy fats. So this is very different from when I started out as a dietitian in 1970 at Beth Israel and then going into, Mass General. Because diabetics were, their carbohydrates were cut way, way back, and they were supposed to have more protein and fat. And really the goal is to have a blood sugar level that is normal and in the normal level of blood sugar, not too high and not too low. So if they have frequent regular meals that are all in balance, then the blood sugar goes up and stays up there till about the next meal and snack, and then it goes like this. But it stays in a good zone. You don't want to cut yourself back too far, and you don't want to overdo. So it's all about balance always, and common sense.
Right. And I'm happy that we're highlighting what the role of the dietitian is today, because I've learned so much from Jane, and she's been really a key team member. We have a heart failure program, so we have folks that come in with congestive heart failure. We have lots of folks that have diabetes, and also pulmonary problems like COPD. So Jane plays such an integral role working with the rest of the interdisciplinary team, and there's a lot more to it than most folks think when you really start hearing about it.
You had a big event just the other, a few days ago, right?
August 7th, we had
August 7th?
the 5th annual Senior Appreciation
Okay.
Luau. It was great. The weather held out. We had over 320 seniors,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun.
What is it that makes a person feel satiated when they eat? Is it fat? Is it protein, carbohydrate? When you eat a meal and you feel, oh, I'm full, that was a really good meal, is there anything that makes you feel satiated, full?
Well, I'll tell you, when you eat pure sugar, your blood sugar goes up really fast and you start to feel satiated in just a few minutes. Okay. When you eat just carbohydrate, it takes maybe half an hour to an hour for the blood sugar to go up and for you to feel satiated. When you have protein, it takes maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to bring up your blood sugar and feel satiated. And if you just ate pure fat, it would be about 2.5 to 3 hours. So you can see, instead of this big spike in sugar and then the carbohydrate and then the protein and the fat, if you had a mixed meal, it would all come up like this and stay there until the next meal that was all balanced with the carbohydrate, protein, and fat. when somebody's blood sugar goes too low, we try to get it up really fast with, say, some orange juice, a little bit of orange juice, but then to keep it up there, we might give them some peanut butter and crackers, or a half a cheese sandwich, or some milk and half a sandwich, because that will keep it up. Because if you just give somebody the quick sugar to bring it up, from being too low, it'll drop back down again too fast. So to stay satiated, you need everything to be in balance.
Now, you said something that I keyed on, good fat.
Yes.
So I assume there's also bad fat.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about good fat and bad fat.
Well, bad fat would be your saturated fats and your trans fats, which has been in the news a lot lately.
All right, so somebody says, what is that? What kind of food would that be?
Very saturated fat would be, animal fat.
Like French fries at McDonald's. That's not a good thing, right?
Well, French fries, if it's made with a healthy vegetable oil,
Yeah.
say a corn oil or canola or something like that, it would be fine. But if it's fried in lard, or something that has a lot of saturated fat, it wouldn't be so good. Okay. We do need some cholesterol, though, okay, because our bodies make about 800 milligrams of cholesterol a day that's needed for hormones, and it's a precursor for vitamin D. When we get sunlight, if vitamin D goes into, sunlight, when it hits the cholesterol in our skin, it makes vitamin D, so it's synthesized. Also, our brain is mostly cholesterol. Every little connection between the nerves in our brain have a little myelin sheath that's mostly cholesterol.
So the brain is mostly cholesterol.
Yes!
That's interesting. I never knew
Yes.
that.
And that's why human breast milk is the highest in cholesterol of all animals, because human brains, we're the smartest, and until a baby's brain is fully developed at about 2.5 to 3, we need to give that kid the best possible start. So the cholesterol makes sure that brain is developed, and all those myelin sheaths are.
Is cholesterol just another word for fat?
No. Cholesterol is a very specific kind of fat. There's cholesterol, and like
But
I
it's
said,
fat nonetheless.
it is a fat. Yes, it's
So there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Is that right? Good fat, bad fat?
No, there's only one kind of cholesterol, and we need it. It's essential. It's essential for those hormones, for vitamin D synthesis, for our brains, for our whole nervous system, our brain stem, and everything. Yeah. And it needs to be replenished every day, and that's why even if we didn't eat any, our bodies make 800 milligrams a day. That's the normal healthy person. Some people make more than that, and that's because they have a cholesterol problem. And some people, no matter how little fat or cholesterol they do, their body overmakes it. And so those are the people that even if they go on a low-fat, low-cholesterol diet, it's gonna be high anyway. I know my mother was on a low-fat, low-cholesterol diet for 3 years, and her cholesterol was way over 250, and she finally just said, "Oh, the heck with it! I'm going to eat what I want." And she lived to be almost 90. You know what I mean? So anyway, but
people's ideas on cholesterol are changing.
Oh yes,
250.
Yes.
That's.
And also, like, you've seen the pendulum swing between eggs are good for you, an egg a day, then no eggs, no cholesterol, then now eggs are okay. So basically, an egg yolk has between 170 and 270 milligrams of cholesterol. So if you had 1 or 2 a day, what's the big deal? And because that's less that your body has to synthesize.
Well, we're going to head to a break right now, but when we come back, I'm going to ask you to tell us specifically about certain myths with respect to a person's diet and so forth.
Sure.
So we're going to head to a break right now. When we come back, more Senior Focus with myself, with Kristine Binnette and Jane Fitzgerald.
Patrick.
Join us on Tuesday, September 16th for a free symposium, Living Well to 100. Open to the public, free admission, free buffet lunch, free raffle prizes, and free community resources. Call us to register at 508-459-5057 or visit us at www.theseniorfocus.com.